Welcome to PLUSone, a series where each month I look at the free games on PlayStation Plus and tell you if they're worth the download. After all, the games may be free, but your time is valuable. Today, I get to talk to you about Knack. One of the PS4's launch titles from back in 2013, Knack was also one of only about 3 games that wasn't also on the PS3. This means that it, along with Killzone Shadowfall, were under a lot of pressure to show potential buyers what the new system could do. Last-gen ports only pretty up the visuals, they don't push the system to its limits. Knack, though, that could be the game to really sell the PS4. But did it? Well, we'll answer that question in a moment. In Knack you play as, well, Knack, this jumbled assortment of balls and rocks. The remnant of an ancient civilization, Knack has the unique power to grow and shrink simply by collecting and discarding these things. This means that Knack as a character is incredibly weird in terms of design. In his tiny form, he looks like this cute little dog, but as he grows, he becomes a big, ugly-looking troll thing. Oh, also, he speaks.
Just a sec, Doc. I'll get the lights on for you.
This, everybody, was the mascot character for the PS4, an indescribable shaping of particles with a deep voice. Looks aside, he's tasked with helping to save humanity and the world from a war with a goblin army, and later from humanity itself. In doing so, does Knack succeed at becoming an iconic PS4 franchise? It did not. Well, I mean, unless you count memes as iconic. Touted as a true next-gen platformer, Knack is not really at all a platformer. Yeah, there are platforms, and Knack can certainly jump on them, but anybody who says this game is anything but a one-button beat-em-up is lying to you. There are actually points in Knack where they treat a random jump as a grand set piece, something relegated to a cutscene as if this is some tense moment in Uncharted. Oftentimes, the chapters are just randomly thrown together chunks of level, leaving it up to a cutscene for Knack to jump up or down to the next area because level design is hard apparently. Director of the game, lead developer of the PS4, and industry icon Mark Cerny said that the game was a combination of Crash Bandicoot, it's not, God of War, it's not, and Katamari. Okay, that one I can sort of get. The entire game can be easily defined in the following sentence. You run through a narrow corridor to a small open area where you punch some bad dudes until they die, and then you run through another narrow corridor to repeat the process. And you're going to rinse and repeat that process for 10 hours. Knack is potentially the most average game I have ever experienced. I'm not exaggerating, it is just that. The levels are certainly pretty for an early PS4 game, and the cartoony focus leads to some vibrant colors and unique enemies and locales, but this game just has the taste and texture of cardboard. With only a punch combo that consists of mashing the square button 3 times, a homing attack that doesn't actually work at least 60% of the time you use it and is also weaker than a single punch, meaning it's double useless, and a dodge roll, I have no idea how this game could hit 10 hours. I'm guessing it has something to do with the game ending every single combat sequence with a slow motion punch because, by the way, that's a thing that this game does. I was bored by the time the tutorial ended, and I still played another 45 minutes after that. Yes, I know this game was aimed predominantly at a family market and most notably at children. That's fine in a vacuum, but in this product right here, it does not work. I, as a child, was able to learn and play games like Mario 64 that have actual jumps and platforming without any issue. I have witnessed children the same age that I was back then playing platformers and beat-em-ups today without issue. This was an attempt to reinvent the wheel, and they ended up with a square, or rather 1,000 tiny squares that all hover together. Very young children might find it fun for a little while before they get bored and go back to something else, but for anybody over maybe 6, there are better games on the PS4 within both genres that Knack pretends to be. If you do decide you'd like to download it, the game clocks in at 36 gigabytes in size. If you're a completionist, just run away now because you have to play Knack at least 3 times and drop upwards of 40 hours to get that platinum, and this is not worth that badge of honor, I promise. If you're watching this after the game's free period ends, it is $20 regular price. Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, all franchises that Mark Cerny helped create, mind you, A Hat in Time, Shovel Knight, Sonic Mania, Yooka-Laylee, these are all real platformers on the PS4 at around the same price as Knack. I mean, hell, you can actually buy Knack 2 for about that same price more often than not. Despite the sequel existing only because enough people bought Knack 1 as a joke, and Sony somehow taking that as a sign that Knack was a good game, Knack 2 is far better than its predecessor and even has co-op if you want to make a friend hate you. I still wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but if you really want to play a Knack game, just spend the $20 on Knack 2. I'm pretty sure you wouldn't miss a single thing of importance just by skipping the first game too. There's actually zero info online about whether Knack 2's plot ties back into the first game, so that's probably a sign. Are you a fan of Knack, or do you agree with my stance? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe for more PlayStation Plus reviews and more.